Okay guys, so here we are at the third episode of making Skyrim mods, starting right where we left off. Now in this episode what we're going to do is we're going to do a high poly model of our shirt, as we said. So now the way we're going to do it is we're going to open up ZBrush first, and we will obviously make our interface a bit better. For me, oops, hold on, let me move a bit. Oh, there we go. For me, this is on a drawing tablet. I don't know if you have one. If not, you can also do it on PC. It's really not that big of a deal. But in here, you can do it a bit more accurately, you know. So first things first, we're going to go to Import. And in here, we're going to go to our 3D folder, and we're going to find our low shirt. Now this is the shirt we did in the last episode, which was 3 months ago. I'm sorry. Okay. In any way, we want to click on Edit and then on Make Polymesh 3D so we can move it around. Ooh. Okay. So in here, material, what I choose is this one, green material, green metallic. You can choose whatever one you want, but the brighter ones are often good. I know most people use Madcap Grey. This is what I always use, but I just like the look of this one, metallic one, a bit more. Okay, so what we want to pay attention to is the following. We see that we have edges here, right? So we want to keep those when we go higher poly, but hold on, let me go down here. We go to Display Properties and enable double so we can actually see what is going on. Now look, the way if you pay attention up here, you see that we have 2.29k polygons. That is not a lot. We want to get to a couple of million there. But as we get there, you will see that the more polygon we divide our mesh with, it's going to smooth our edges. And we want to keep edge smoothing as low as possible because pay attention to this. You see, we have a pretty sharp edge. If we divide it, this is in geometry by the way, under subtool, and you click on smooth here, you see, subdivide smooth, and you divide it, it curves it. But this is actually not that good for beginning. Look at the difference. You see, now we're this will be visible in our model. We want to keep edges as sharp as we can, but this part here, you see, we want to keep it smooth. So how do we do it? Okay, so first things first, you can click Shift F to see wireframes and stuff, and you want to go to Polygroups, and you want to click Auto Groups with UV. This can help us later on. It's always good to do this first. Now we go to Geometry and we turn off Smooth here, but we just divide it once. So when you just divide, you get you see higher poly count. We got 9,000 instead of 2,000. But the thing is, if you keep on dividing, you see it's not smoothing this. This will be visible. This is me smoothing it now with a pen. But we want to smooth it as much as possible automatically. So once you click, so from 2.2k, from beginning once again. If you click divide once, you get those sharp edges a bit more sharp, basically. And then you click smooth, and then you divide it. Now this bend is a bit less than what it was before. And then we want to do it again. Now let's see if we can deform it. Just a second, let me see if this is good enough. No, it's not. Okay, so you want to keep it at 35k. And once you get to 35k, you basically control that. You can move here, you see, to what poly count we were. So I just clicked, this is the second smooth divide if I'm right. So once we're here, we see that it's still blocky. See, we can do it with, we can do it like this, but it would take ages, even with the mirroring stuff. And actually, if you would do it like this, it would be the best result. But I'll teach you a lazy way because I'm pretty lazy. You want to navigate to deformations and you want to go to polish by group. So you grab it and you hold it to around, I don't know, 15. It doesn't matter. You can go something like this and you let go and you see how it smooths it. Take a look at the difference. See the difference? Now we want to do it once again. Whoop! It's even smoother. You see? And we want this. We can actually keep this edge. Kind of like it. See? Just a bit. Just smooth it a bit, not too much. I hate this edge. This edge is horrible. So I'm just holding shift and I'm just gently tapping to get this. This is also a bit too strong for my taste. Okay, this too. Okay, so we're on 35k. Now we can continue subdividing now as if it's nothing. So just click divide, divide, divide. Now you see we're on 2.25k. So once we're here, what we want to do is obviously save. So we save it as, I don't know, hi shirt. This is just a project, right? Just so it doesn't get lost. So there it is. Okay, so if we hold on, let me try to drag the basic shirt. Okay, so here are some simple examples of shirt, just to show you what I mean. You see how the shirts have these edges here? And you want to know what type of material they are, right? So they're obviously some kind of shoes and stuff. Take a look at this. It's going to be something really deep. Now, the more you search for these things online, the more you inform yourself about the types of shoes that go into certain shirt, your shirt is going to look a lot more, how do you call it? It's going to look a lot more realistic. Now, I'll show you the way you can do this without paying for any brushes, right? To get these edges. But, okay. You can go here, into your brushes, right? And you can use them standard brush, but you gotta put it really low, and then you see if you drag, you can use this brush, right? If you would turn on lazy mouse, you can use it, but I'll show you what the problem with it is. You see how it's almost like it's for leather, right? You don't always want to go for leather. You want to go for something, I don't know, something a bit more sharp. Although if you want, you can also use this. It's completely normal. I have my own brushes for this, which I made, and I can also teach you how to make your own brushes, but I think you would need to, I think YouTube can explain that far better than I can. If you just search how can you make brushes, I can link down the video on how to make it easy. But if you go to Lightbox and you go to brush and then you go to slash, and there's one brush called slash 2. Now what this brush does is, oops, we gotta lower it down a bit. You move intensity here, and I gotta turn off tablet settings because it's really getting out of hand. Let me see. You see how it gives you this this side is a bit higher than the other one. It gives you this nice little edge here. You can use this brush. So if you want to use it, what do we need to do? Is we need to go to stroke, and you go to lazy mouse, and now you put lazy radius up. Now what lazy radius does is it gives you this red. You see this red curve, which makes it easier for you to do stuff more accurately. Lazy step is how apart will each one of these little things be. If you make it really like huge, you see how it does. It's like a step in between. We want to keep that pretty low, so there's no messy things here. And smooth, yeah, you can keep smooth. You don't want to smooth it way too much, not too little either. Just you gotta find the right balance. So we're gonna use this to make a shirt. How do you call this? Seams. Okay, so if you would do something like this, you can see it's roughly. You don't know exactly where it will be. You do instead. What you do is you do Shift F, and then you see the. Oh my God, sorry guys, my English is completely broken now. What you see are the wireframes. Now, hold on. Come on, ZBrush. ZBrush is not listening to me. Anyways, if you do I gotta move interface till I find one. Okay, so you see down here, my tablet, it's a bit tricky, but you can still see it. You should see a polygon frame, this thing. It's basically what Shift F does. It's just an icon for it. And next to it, you have a line. It's really on top. You have fill. You see, you can click on this. This is clickable. But you click on line instead. And then you get just this thing which is separated by colors. So it's easier for you. And now what we want to do is we want to put the draw size up a bit, not too much. Intensity to around 9, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it will be perfect. Maybe a bit smaller draw size in the end. You see? Okay. I hate these pixelated edges if you can see them. But I have my own brushes for this. You can also buy them at like $2. You can buy like really professional brushes. It's a lot easier if you do this every day. And you're gonna make that money up quickly. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just pulling the line here. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can. Let me see. Yeah, I turned on the mirror as well. It's X. Remember, if you do X, you have mirror. And then what I want to do is I want to continue. Whoop. There we go. Just following this. I cannot see very well, my hand is below it. Okay, so now what we want to do is you want these things to meet. And now I can turn this off just to see, and then Shift F again. And now I see, oh, this is already looking promising. Now, if you ever paid attention to the shirts, you should know that there is also one connection here, right? But we want to do the same thing so that we are more accurate. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you make a mistake, but I'm still trying to keep it as nice as possible. I'm just perfectionist, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so if you did the polygroup thingy that I told you about, that means that you can isolate each part of this shirt. So what we want to do is we want to isolate the heads. Okay, so now we only get this. Now what we can do with this is, if you get nothing and you're clicking Shift F, it's because all of these things are turned off. So we want to do the same thing. We go to side view, we move in, and you want to turn off line here, right? Line, see? Okay, so just so that we get colors. And for some reason, colors for me are horrible. It's like green. I can barely see the difference, but it's better than nothing, right? Okay, so we want to pull down here. Oops. Oh, I can barely see it. It's horrible. But okay. And once you're done with this, you just click Ctrl Shift and you tap anywhere, and our shirt is back. You can also do it for the shirts, but most of people don't. I have to. I'm sorry. you knew I would do it. Okay, so now I'm just hiding the jacket. You just hold Ctrl Shift and you click on it until everything disappears. And now I wonder, where should I make it? I don't know, maybe somewhere like this. Okay. I see that I make a little mistake here. See? Okay, I'll do it again. Whoop. Ah, this is roughly. Because there's no two colors again, because we didn't do it. There was no need for it. Okay, so now we Ctrl S, we save, and we have our very lines. This is also, you can import the model like this already, and you can bake it, and you would get perfectly smooth object. You can do this for metals, you can do this for armor. Not for every armor, but if you want to do something that is like perfect, really rounded, extremely reflective, you can go with this. You can already export it then. But since we're doing shirt, we want to have some folds as well, right? Now, when it comes to folds, this is where I'll just move this up a bit so it looks better. When it comes to folds, it comes to your personal expertise. Now, what you can do is you can sculpt them in yourself with basic tools, like standard brush, by going to lower subdivision and then going up. Or you can also buy, I don't know, random brushes that just let you pull. Hold on, I'll show you how it looks like. just so you know. Give me a moment. Okay, so for example, I have many different brushes. Here you go, look. I have like so many, it's insane. I have some of mine and I have these. If you pay attention to this, there's like each one of these has 70 different folds to it. So look, you can just drag, you'll have your folds. The other method is drawing it yourself. Now that requires for you to know fold theory. And fold theory is pretty complex. It tells you how the fabrics behave. It's really good. You still need it if you want to do folds. You cannot have folds here. You need to understand where which folds go. But if you sculpt it from zero yourself, it's going to be very difficult. So what I would urge you is like just give $2, get any fabric brushes that you can use. If you have Marvelous Designer, you can also generate your own brushes. For me, it's easier to pay $2 and get brushes that I need rather than spend hours and hours on making my own just to figure out that someone can do it better than me, you know? Although I still have some of mine which are really specific. For example, for folds, I have mine that are just perfect for me. But okay, let's continue. Now we need to determine what type of shirt this is. Now what do I mean with it? Is this like a linen shirt? Is this leather shirt? What is it? Let's see by the thickness. By the thickness, I would say it is pretty leathery, considering how thick it is. But if we would really put in the effort, we can turn it into a linen one. Now this is not the greatest reference, but you can still see folds, right? You know that there's no folds on the breasts because that's the tense area. Because, hold on, let me just show you what I mean. So gotta turn this off. So the tension would be from here, from here, from here, from here, but it wouldn't be on the breast part because that's like the area where it's tense. So there's a lot of those areas where you need to pay attention to. It's also the back, right? You see this area of the back? It's also extremely tense. You never put folds there. You can put folds in between here to connect it, but you shouldn't put, at least not big folds here, depending on the material, right? Also, the same goes for, I mean, you can put some in here, but most of people just put them here, right, to avoid this. It's pretty tricky to do them here. Now, if you pay attention to the arms here, the way they are, it says, the way they look, it says that the most of the gravity is in this part, right? If there is gravity here, that cannot mean that there's like folds here. It makes no sense, right? So we gotta pay attention to that as well. You want to make when you do sculpting and high poly model, that's where all of your talent and knowledge comes to. So you need to make it the most believable you can here. This is the most important part, in my opinion, at least. Okay, so let's do some brushing stuff. I think I want it to be leather. I just love leather so much I cannot explain to you how much I love the leather clothing. It's the part I'm most comfortable with, and the folds I'm also most confident with. Now, when it comes to folds, let me show you. Pay attention to this fold. This fold, it is leathery fold. Why? Because it's very thick. Now pay attention to this one. See how no, not that one, maybe another one just to show you. Sorry, I just want to show you as much as possible, and I'm never going by script. If you pay attention to this is more of a nylon, more of a something that's extremely tense. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot use this on leather. You can, but you need to know areas where you can use them, right? Now, areas where you could pull off something like this, they would be from below, but very difficult, very thin. Or maybe in these areas where it's extremely thin. But I still would avoid using this on the leather unless you're going for something that is extremely thin and extremely how do you call it? It kisses the body, right? It's extremely you know what I mean, tensed onto the body. Okay, it's tight. That's what I mean. That's the word. Okay, so let's go and make it leathery. Now it's always good to have some references here, but I'm very lazy person, and I did this many times. I'm sorry, so you gotta trust me on this. Okay, so when it comes to folds, what I like to do is I like to start with the arms. Now you can do the same on both sides, but you don't want it to be way too same, right? You wanna make it. Oops. You wanna make it believable, like there is something. See, these I used the exact same brush, but I aligned it in a way so that you wouldn't see it. Now we don't want to overdo with the brushes either. Actually, no, I cannot make it. Why am I doing this? I cannot make it. I cannot make it leather because it has this weird what's it called? Color. Okay. Let's see what we can do. If it cannot be leather, that means that most of the tension will be down here. We need to put in where the elbow is. Elbow would be around here, I believe. But that means we have to go with thinner materials. Okay. You can also put stuff like this, but if you put the intensity down, it's gonna look a bit more believable, you see? Oops, it's a bit more, these are called memory folds. Where they are, they're most characterized by the areas that bend the most, right? If you would, for example, if you're wearing this shirt and you have a belt around it, the belt would cause these memory folds. That's what makes sense. The areas that twist a lot, right? So obviously this area would twist a lot. Oops. Which area would also this one, right? It's just what makes sense. Better put something more believable here. Let me see if there's more memory folds. Okay. Maybe this is a bit too strong. Gotta put it down a bit. Oh, this is like adding is up. This is now subtracting. Let's say no. It's too low. I like it. Okay, so I'll put it up a bit as well. Oh, we're making it, guys. Oh, this area is also known for memory folds. Wanna be careful. We don't want to overdo it. You don't want to have the entire body full of memory folds. It wouldn't make sense. They're like subtle details that make a full image once you're done with it. Let's see what else. Of course, more here on the back part a bit. See, I'm not doing those extremely confident folds yet. I'm doing the bigger ones. Let me see. Where else would it be? Below arm, but that area is very tricky. I wouldn't recommend you to put a lot of stuff below arms, because when we do baking, it's gonna give you troubles. You want to keep it to minimum there. Maybe you can do those. You know what I mean? That go from below, like this. You know, below it, but not on it. That's my personal view of it. And I'm trying to see if I can put. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you one more thing that I almost forgot. If you go to Morph Target and click this Store Morph Target, it's Store Morph Target, and you can draw. Oh, I'll just hide this. Sorry. You can draw stuff like this, and then you can do BMG or BMO, and you can just. Oops, you can just put intensity up and draw size, and you can just delete the exact part that you don't like. So it can give you some really cool folds, you know, really cool. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our brush. I just wanted to show you that, just so you know that it exists. You can also do that for the seams. As I said, I'm really not scripted, guys. I'm trying to show you as much as I can. Okay, maybe like this. Ooh, let's see. A bit more intense. 82. What about this? And what did we say about this part? You see, this is not looking good. This is way too thick. I don't like it. Perhaps like this. Let me see. Maybe if we would use more target on this, but no. Oh, I like this. Oh, there we go. See, we made it like tense, and the breast part is pulling it backwards. Oh, let's see if there's more of that. Oh, very cool. Make sure that your mirror is off. You can also close that part. Actually, no, we'll keep it. We'll keep all the parts. There we go. Oh, pretty cool, don't you think? Oh, really, really cool. Now, it would make sense that these two things somehow connect, right? Because they have the strength to pull the entire breast tense. Ooh, we did something like this, just extremely strong. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, really cool stuff. Okay, let's save it. We're not done yet. Don't worry, we're not done yet. So you see, it's pulling breast here, and it connects to the back part, and we have memory folds already down there set up, so they're not messing up anything. It's fault theory, guys. You gotta learn it. Now let's go to the next step. You can do delete morph target and then store it again. It's in morph target here. See? And then we want to find something that is big, yet still not way too messy. To maybe 50, no. We go 70. Oh, I like that. Let me see. No, we need something a bit thinner. Maybe like this. Oh, I love that. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, now what did we say? BMG. Morph target. Put the row size up. Whoop. Sacred rule. Cannot touch the. I deleted it completely. Maybe like this would do. No, we need to make a new one. Sorry. You know what I meant there. You know what I wanted. But it's not good enough. Let's try this. Oh, I like this. MG. But it's way too strong. Okay. And I am the person that forgot to store more targets, so this couldn't work. If you're too lazy to do that, you can also smooth it like this. It's also good. But I like to morph it a lot. Morphing is better. And also, but the combination is also better. It's even better if you just smooth the edges, then you switch to morph, and then you morph it completely. Yeah. It gives you that more of a realistic view. You can see that in game. You know, all of these folds in game, they'll have their own. They'll have their own place. Don't worry. It's gonna look really cool. Now what we want to do is, you see, I'm a bit all over the place. But we want to do the sleeves. Now we know where the area of tension is, where all of our gravity is. So we want to figure out how do we do this and make it look still believable. Okay, you see this little corner here? I have like very sharp corners that come from the brushes, VDM brushes. And also, when you're smoothing this, you want to make sure that you don't smooth these edges of ours here that we placed before. You really want to be careful. Now, there is other way you can do it too, by using layers, but I'm trying to when you do things one by one, you teach yourself some kind of discipline. Discipline is what I really lack most of the times. So this helps me. It was not excuse, okay? It was not excuse. Okay. So I'm just putting more stuff on the back here. Ooh, let's see how this looks like. Oh, I like it. Now, what most of people would do is they would just go here and they would stash as much of these as possible. I'll show you. For example, these, right? They just stash this and they do a million of them. It just kills the model. Don't do that, guys. You can pull one maybe and that's it. You don't want to overdo. You need to